Hey everybody, so it's been a while since I made a video, and that's because I've been kind of saving vacation days till this trip right here. This was my first international trip since Christmas Island last year, and it's a pretty epic one as well. As you can tell by the title and the scenery, I basically went to the Cancun area in Mexico. This one was kind of hard to get to. Like, you had to fly to Cancun, take a shuttle to Tulum, which was like 2 hours, jump on this boat right here, and ride across the bay for an hour to get to the actual lodge, which was in Punta Allen. So after we got off the boat, it was pretty much get to the lodge, meet everyone else who was there, which I think there were 12 people total. Eat some snacks, eat some dinner, and just get ready for the next day. So I'm going to break the fishing up into three sections. The first one's going to be tarpon fishing, as you can see from the title. And this one was probably, I would say, the most fun because tarpon aren't like super selective, but they have a really high chance of getting off your line due to their hard mouth. And this was the first time going tarpon fishing. You can see my learning curve in the series of clips coming up. So this was actually, this was my first tarpon hookup, and you could tell I was not ready. Like, that blow up just came out of nowhere. You could see I didn't really set the hook well. And when he tells me to set it up again, I just basically just pull the line a little bit. Yeah. After catching a few and watching this again, you can tell it was pretty much a mess. Probably should have been stripping the line in here, but I was reeling. You can see this is more of a juvenile, I guess, baby tarpon. There were actually adult tarpons in the area, and somebody caught a 110-pound one, but pretty much required you to sit in the same spot. I tried it one day, and after 2 hours, I couldn't take any more. I guess I'm too much of a casual for adult tarpon fishing, at least at this point in my fly fishing career. This was really cool because you could actually see the fish just kind of just take swipes at it as it was like swimming closer to the boat, and then right at the boat it came up and took it right there.
Oh, you want it? You like the fly? Yeah. Try to keep tension.
Again, I still hadn't gone to the real hook setting method yet. I think they started showing me after this one, like, you gotta pretty much do like 3 strip sets as hard as you can.
Oh, yeah. Little bite.
Okay, so it wasn't all losses. I had actually caught a few tarpon by this point, but this was probably the biggest one I caught. It's still a baby tarpon, but I think it was in the 20+ pound range. And I think by this point I was used to setting the hook, fighting them, keeping tension. Like, I didn't even take it to reel. So I think it took about 8 to 9 minutes for me to bring it in. So it was a really fun fight. It wasn't long enough where I started feeling like, when is this going to end? But it was enough for me to feel like I was actually battling. Okay, so the next set of fish I'm just going to combine into one because you've already seen my Christmas Island video where I caught bonefish. I caught a ton of bonefish. This one just happened to be the funniest one because it actually swam directly at me and got stuck on my pants. At least the hook did. I do have to say the bonefish here are a little bit smaller than what I caught at Christmas. Still fun though.
Doesn't feel like a permit unless it's a really small one. Bonefish? Oh, he's biting me. He's on me. I was attacked by a bonefish.
Next fish up, I think, are snappers. Sorry, I forgot exactly what type of snapper they were. I know they called in Spanish something with a black dot on it because it had one on the tail. They usually showed up with the schools of permit along with pretty much the bonefish and the jacks. I heard they're really good eating, but didn't get a chance to try one.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. One of the dinners they actually did serve some, I think, cooked. Yeah, so this is what it looked like. Pretty fish. This one's a small jack. I actually did catch a larger one, which I'll show later on in the permit section, but most of them are pretty much this size. Fun to catch, but kind of annoying when you're targeting permit. I heard they get pretty big, like GT sized. This one here is a school of jacks that we saw swimming around. These were pretty good size and would have been fun to catch, but I don't think I was quite ready to fish from it. They just showed out of nowhere. Okay, permit time. So this is pretty much what everybody went to the lodge to target, and this was my first time fishing for them. And you can see the progression of all the mistakes I made.
Okay, right there. Okay. The big one is facing to the right. Two of them.
Yeah, the one thing I learned really fast is it's pretty intense fishing. Like, the guides are the nicest people in the world, but when the permits show up, they just turn on a switch and get super intense. I think that was one of my downfalls. Like, I don't think I've ever had to fish under pressure and someone yelling at you to add more power, or like you're casting at the wrong spot. I don't think I was ready for that. But you know what? I think next time I'll be a little more mentally prepared for it. So this one was probably the most memorable fish of the trip. Like, you could see that school just zooming in on my fly, and I could actually see it take the fly. I have to say, there's no greater feeling in the world than watching a fish just take your line to the backing. So eventually, I did get control of the fish and started reeling them in. I made a few runs back out, but it was a slow and steady battle that I was winning. And when it got close to the boat, which you're about to see, you can see it's coming in actually tail first, and the line was wrapped around it. I noticed it, but didn't really think too much about it. Yeah, you could see that the wrapped around line just broke off when it made a final push. This was day 3. The last one was day 2. So I was bummed that I lost that first one, but I knew I had more shots. And this one was actually even bigger than that last one.
Let him run. Let him run. Nice and easy. Let him run. Let him run. Let him run. Tip up. Nice and easy. Don't hold it too hard. Let him run. Let him run. Let him run.
So the guide actually thought I held on too hard. I could have sworn I was just funneling through my fingers, and you could hear that drag sound, which made it seem like I got to the reel, but he blamed me, so I guess I'll take that one as my fault. Here you can see basically what some of the other action was like basically chasing schools, wading through the water. Like a couple of them had to run pretty far. This one here, I didn't spook too many, but this one was probably the biggest blow up that I made. And this was probably the other most common occurrence when I was permit fishing. I would just catch something else. I mean, that made it fun because honestly, like, my permit shots weren't that many each day. Well, I had a ton of shots. It's just I wasn't really getting much action. So this kind of broke up all the mundane parts. And this was my biggest jack. It's funny, like, it was big enough where they actually thought I caught a permit. So I got my hopes up and it went crashing down again. Okay, at this point, this was the very last day to the very last, I think, 2 hours. So the guide said that I hooked a permit. I didn't actually see it, so I don't know if that counts as the third lost permit, but about 3 casts later, same school, made another pass. So this one, I probably made the mistake of taking it to Rio. I probably should have just stripped it just based on how hard it was pulling, but this one was confirmed to be a permit. And they even said it was a small one, but still a permit, so I decided to take it to the Rio.
Little guy.
And there it is. Very last day, I finally caught my first permit. It's like a mini permit, but still counted. And you know what? They have a tradition. If you catch your first permit on the fly here, you have to eat a scorpion with a shot of tequila. And I got my scorpion shot. Honestly, it just tasted like crunchy tequila. Wasn't too bad. So, like I said, that was the last day. 11th hour, I caught my permit. And then next day, it was time to head back. Decided to stay in Cancun for another day and try to do one of those 10-hour tours, which it was tiring, but it was fun. Got to see Mayan ruins, swim in a cenote, and visit a small town. Then at nighttime, decided to go off to 5th Avenue and see the really touristy stuff. Yeah, cenotes had these little catfish swimming in them. Wonder if you could fish for them. Anyways, awesome trip. I got one more international trip in the fall to go to Japan to fish for some natives there, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see my other trips. Bye.